Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another video. Now, today we're going to be continuing with our Warframe Solo Steel Path series. And we're going to be looking at mobile defense. I am on the road to 100 subscribers at the moment. So if you're going to enjoy this video and other content on my channel, drop a like, subscribe to the channel and comment, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so for this mobile defense, we're going to split it into two categories: Grineer and Infested, and also Corpus and Corrupted. Now, for the Grineer and Infested, we're going to be using Limbo, and for the Corpus and Corrupted, we're going to be using Khora. Now, the reason for this is because when we get Corpus and Corrupted, we get the introduction of nullifiers, and they interact differently with the different frames. So, as you can see on screen right now, when Limbo's Cataclysm is in contact with the bubble, it completely shuts off and you cannot recast until that bubble is gone. Now for Khora, however, you can cast your Strangle Dome, and only the part of that dome which is in contact with the nullifier bubble is going to be deleted. So the rest of the dome is still up and can still grab enemies. Okay, so with that out the way, let's get into the builds and the focus school. Okay, so the operator. Now the focus school, it is up to you. You do have a choice between the two I would recommend. First of all, Unairu, if you're not as confident at taking out the Eximus units when they spawn, because they're so tanky, you know, they have that extra bit of health and protection, then you can take Unairu to strip their armor, make it easier to kill them. However, if you're okay with that sort of thing, and you're more concerned about energy, because we're not actually going to kill any of the enemies, so we're just relying on the energy we have from the mission. But also, in this case, you can activate Zenuric, use your Wellspring and Hardened Wellspring, just while you're waiting, when you have your Cataclysm up, when you have your Strangle Dome up, and you're just waiting for it to run out so you can cast it again. You can put down your Wellspring, Hardened Wellspring, and just gain that passive energy. So, for the operator Arcane, I would say again, as usual, Magus Elevate. Now the reason is that, particularly for Limbo, his sort of casting time for his Cataclysm is a decent bit, and so while that Cataclysm's down, you can be vulnerable, they can shoot you and things like that. So if they do get into your health, then you can activate Magus Elevate, go in and out of transference, get that health back to your frame, and be fine. So, without the way, let's get into the builds. Okay, so for the Limbo build, it is Zero Former. Not sure about the normal Limbo, it might be, but I would have to check that out. So, for Limbo, we're going to be using his fourth ability, Cataclysm, and also his second ability, Stasis. So, the concept is pretty simple. We cast our Cataclysm, which is sort of a bubble of void, pretty much, and then we cast our Stasis, which is basically going to stop any enemies getting into the bubble, but also any enemies who are already in the bubble will freeze until the stasis runs out, of course. So, the build itself, we've got Energy Siphon here for some passive energy. As I said, it is a Zero Former build. You know, if you wanted to Former, you could use probably other useful aura mods in this slot, but because it's Zero Former, we're using the best out of the Naramon range. Okay, so then we've got Primed Continuity with Constitution and Organ Message as our duration mods. Then we have Augur Reach with Overextended for our range. Now, the reason we don't have Stretch on this also is because we have replaced it with Vitality. This is because when we cast our Cataclysm, Obviously, we do not have natural talent on this build, so it does take a decent bit of time for our Cataclysm to be active. That includes the animation, which makes us very vulnerable to enemy fire. However, I do have a fix for this, or a sort of hack, I guess you could call it, to basically get rid of that vulnerability. And I'll be showing that in the gameplay section for Limbo. Then we have Prime Flow for just capacitance. Again, if you don't have Prime, just put a normal, it is completely fine. And then finally, we have our Streamline just for a little bit of efficiency. Arcanes, they are completely optional. You know, if you don't have any Arcanes and you run this build in a mobile defense mission, you're not going to fail, but they're just nice to have. On damage, you get armor, of course, and then barrier. You get a chance to instantly restore all of your shields at once. Now, the reason also I want to say that I don't have Umbral Vitality is because, first of all, it's the same amount of health that you get, but also this is 15 mod capacity, this is only 11, and the only reason you would put realistically something like these Umbral mods on is if you had more than one on, because for example, alone you have 400, right? But if you put on an extra Umbral mod, you boost it to 500, you put on another one, you boost it to 700, things like that, okay? But of course, we only have the one mod, or we would only have one, which is why I haven't really bothered putting it on. Okay, so with that out the way, let's get into the Khora build. Okay, so for our Khora build, it is Zero Former, and I believe it is also Zero Former for the normal Khora. But the abilities we're going to be using on her are her Strangledome and also her Ensnare. Now the reason we can use Ensnare is because if there are enemies far out enough to avoid your Strangledome but are still shooting at the target, you can simply ensnare them, stop them shooting at it. Pretty simple. So, for the build itself, in our Aura mod slot, we have Physique. I'm sure if you format it, you could put different, more useful Aura mods on, but because this is Zero Former, this is the best out of the bunch. Plus, it gives us some health, so we're not as squidgy. Then, we have Prime Flow for capacitance. Again, if you have normal flow, put it on, it does not matter. And then we have Overextended, Stretch, and Augur Reach to maximize our range. Now, the reason we have more range on this build than our Limbo build is because we have Physique and Burial's Hatred to increase our shield and health, so we're not gonna die that easily. Then we also have Streamline and Burial's Hatred for some efficiency, which gives us 145. And then finally we have Constitution and Primed Continuity. Again, if you have normal continuity, slap it on. And that will be for our duration. Again, as I said, for the Limbo build, Arcanes are completely optional. If you don't have any and you go into the mission with this build, it's not like you're going to fail it instantly. It is fine. But that is the build. Let's get into some gameplay. Okay, so we are at the first console. Put it in. Activate our Cataclysm and Stasis. Then we can put on our Wellspring and Harden Wellspring to get that passive energy whilst we wait to recast. And it's pretty much that simple, to be honest. There's nothing else to it. So we recast again on Stasis. And also the trick to reactivating your Cataclysm without being vulnerable, I will show you in a second. So you come out of the bubble, go into void mode, and then recast. Because in void mode, you are completely immune to anything. Status effects, damage, anything. And also, keep an eye on your timings, because, as you saw, I almost just died. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're done. And then whilst you're going between consoles, just stay in your void mode, and should be fine. So I'll see you when I get to the next console. Okay, so we're back at the next console. Put that in, activate Cataclysm, activate Stasis, gain passive energy. And that's it. And then we're going to cast Stasis again. Also, don't wait for, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but don't wait for your stasis to fully run out. Just like double tap it instantly. 1 to deactivate it, and again to reactivate it. If you wait too long, then they'll sort of be able to move within there and you'll be finished. Okay, void mode, recast, and I'm fully immune so they can't hit me. Whoa, okay. That was a bit crazy. Okay, so we need to kill this guy here. Like so. Recast. Okay, so we're at our final console now. Put it in. Activate Cataclysm. Activate Stasis. Now it is also important that you put the sort of data mass into the console before you activate Cataclysm, because while in here you can't really interact with anything either. And now we just wait. Reactivate Stasis. And then we'll get out, go into void mode, and reactivate. Also, as long as their attention is on you, you can pretty much stop them attacking the console and just stalling for time. Because as you can see, there's 4 Eximus units here, and they're all trying to hit me and not the console. And we're done. Then we get back into void mode and get to extraction. And that's it. Okay, so we are in the mission with Khora this time. And I will come back to you when I am at the first console. Okay, so I'm at the first console. We do that to grab these stragglers over here. And it picks up them too. And then we can also put one over here. Also for this, just stay in your operator form because they will start shooting. Okay, it's not shooting. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, it started shooting. And then we just simply recast when it dies down. Which should be soon. Yep, there it is. Okay, and then we can keep putting a hard spring and wild spring on. Also put your Venari to heal, because it will stop them attacking, and it's also a benefit to you because if you do get hit and you go down in health, then your Venari can heal you. And that's really all there is to it. We keep on top of our strangle domes, keep on top of energy, and there shouldn't be a problem. Oh, we're done. So we grab that and we move on to the next one, and I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so we're here. Put our strangle dome down. So there are a couple coming from this direction, but our dome is picking them up. And there is a noticeable amount coming from this segment. So we're going to put one down here. And then we will also kill him. Wow, really? He's literally 1 health. Okay. So we put another down. We did that one a bit after this first one, so shouldn't be going down that soon. And now it's gone, so we recast and go back. Wow, okay. So he's over there and he's causing a bit of a problem, so we're just gonna ensnare him. What we are gonna do is put this back up over here, and then come over here and deal with this guy. Okay, we can also do that again, because they are getting a bit annoying. Oh, we're done. Okay. I will see you when I get to the third and final console. Okay, so we're here at the third console. We're going to put it in. And notice quite a few are going to come from this direction. And also a few are going to come from here. So we're going to do that. And then it will pick up these enemies here and here. And then this should pick up those enemies coming from that door over there. And that one there. So when you are using core on these missions, just have some awareness of where you think enemies will come from and where enemies will trail from. So ones that were on the previous console, where will they come from to the next one? And with that, you should be able to protect your console quite well. And yeah, that's really it. It's not that difficult. You just need to deal with the Xmas units. Oh, I think I heard, yep, him. Okay, that's another one down. Oh, and we're done. Okay, that's it. So that is it for today's episode. If you did go on to enjoy, it would be appreciated if you could like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. I am on the road to 100 subs, and it would be very helpful and much appreciated. But that is all for today. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.